Good evening to all of you. Thanks a lot for joining this session on a weekend. It's a Friday, it's the start of weekend. So very happy to see all of you joining this session. Before I get into the presentation, I thought I'll quickly check with you how many are students. Can you please introduce yourself in the chat? That will quickly help us. And also, when you put it in chat, you can put, why did you join this session? What is your query? I'm sure some of you must have filled in the form as well, but I'm happy to hear from all of you in terms of your background, if you're a student or a teacher, because I know we have teachers, we have students as well. Some of them are, principals or, counselors as well in this group. So I thought it's good to understand, and you can mention your specific purpose with which you joined this session. We'll be happy to discuss, and I will spend, only 25-30 minutes in presentation, and I want to take as many questions as possible. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you, Akhil Prasad. Yeah, it'll be good and easy for me to focus the presentation since the group is not very large. So we can definitely address almost like all your queries or your expectations. We can definitely cover in the session. Thank you, Prashant, for posting your. Then we also have Vijay Kumar. I also see some questions in the chat. Yeah, I can clearly see some of the questions. How can we find correct group? Which course is good? Yeah, thank you, Prashant, for giving the link. Yeah, some got 58th rank in JEE Mains. Want to know what college? Career and life counselor. Nice. Very good. Banashree is mentioning that she's in 12th grade, basic mathematics. Christy from DPS Kollam. Thank you, school counselor. Very good. We have Anuradha, who's the vice principal. Very, very good. Thank you all. Anybody else, in the group, please go ahead and continue to introduce yourself. I'm going to read it anyways. But while I do that, we also have one counselor as well. I think Neeraj Jain is a counselor. Thank you for joining. Let me go to this presentation of mine. I have a quick, 15-20 minutes slides that I have. I want to present, then I want to go for Q&A as many as possible, and I would continue to receive more and more chats in this format. I'm happy to read and respond to you guys. So please go ahead. Anything you want to tell me or ask me to cover, please go ahead and put it in the chat, and continue to introduce in case you haven't introduced yourselves. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, students. Thank you, counselors, for joining this session. Very happy to see all of you. Let me go to this slide and start my presentation. Can you all see my screen? I'm assuming you're able to see my screen. Thank you. Please respond. Yes, very good. Thank you, Shaili ma'am, for responding. As I mentioned to you, the topic for today is how to choose right college and course. And I'm sure you have your own insights on this, and I'm going to add to your insights. And this is not something we are doing it for the first time today. This has been happening for years, and you can see for at least decades that people are choosing the college, people are choosing a course, and we must have made our own choices in our own career, especially teachers and principals or vice principals or counselors in this group. And I'm sure all of you are familiar with this topic. We are only trying to bring more rational to this decision making process, and we are only trying to make this whole decision making transparent and very simple for everybody to understand. Let me take few slides, then after that we'll open up for Q&A. I will just promise you, I will just take, maybe 20, 21 minutes from now. And at 6:30, we are going to open up for questions. But meanwhile, please keep posting your queries or any observations you have. Anybody who want to introduce, please put it in chat. I'm completely happy to read the chat while we are actually discussing this presentation. This is about us. We are a 15-year-old company, and I started this company called BothBridge, and personally in education space for the last 15 years. And this is like a passion that I want to be in education, and that's the reason we are in this space. That's all I want to tell in this slide. But what is it that we believe in as a company is we strongly believe that every student or every person is a genius. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. So we clearly want to identify every student's challenge and every student's strengths and work on the strengths and forget about the weaknesses or the challenges, because many times students are more worried that they are weak in math or weak in science. But what is important is to understand what they're good at. So it's important to know the talent of every student and how do we nurture that talent. And that's the key, and that's what we believe in. And I want to take that as a premise in our conversation, because we believe that everybody has to pursue their dream, and everybody has to pursue their dream based on their strengths. So, and that's very, very important. And we strongly believe in this statement that, and we also strongly believe that every student should make his or her decision so that they live for their dreams and they actually work for their dreams very hard. And automatically they do well in their career, they do well in their profession. And thank you, Devarshi. Happy to see that you have completed career counseling uh, training with us. Very happy to see you joining the session. We'll definitely answer a question on psychometric test. I will definitely, give you more insights as we go further. Yeah. So purpose of the session, I think, as we discussed earlier, one is, help you understand informed career decisions, which you're already in the process. I'm sure without this session also you'll make some decisions for sure. We are only going to discuss a little more on how do we make it more, I would say, uh, more in terms of rational, where you can justify for yourself and for your parents. And it can be definitely a collective decision if you follow some of the discussion points that we're going to discuss today. And it will definitely give you greater confidence to make a confident decision. And I think many times parents are very much worried about their children, and we definitely want them to guide their children easily. Then that's one of the purposes of this session. And also clarify specifically about college and course selection processes, and how do we, make the decision, and especially how do we handle admissions. And with respect to JEE, we are going to do a JOSA and JEE specifics, admission specific sessions. We are going to do more in the coming weeks, and you will see, one of our colleagues going to deliver a very detailed JEE session or JOSA based counseling session. Very soon we are going to have it. Please wait for it, but definitely we want to give you some inputs right now. So why do we want to do this, I would say, session is, today many students are choosing very few careers, and you will see a lot of them pursuing limited set of 5 to 6 careers. And many times, if you ask a student what is their goal, they end up saying, they want to become an engineer or a doctor, or they want to get into some careers. And sometimes they may not be clear about why they want to get into that particular career, especially engineering or medicine. And, and if you look at employment as a challenge, because there is a lot of concern for student in career decision making, and sometimes the student is, making a choice with or without awareness. And many times the UG course that a student is pursuing may not be taken very seriously, and that will definitely land them up in unemployment sometimes. Sometimes they don't take it very seriously, they don't complete the course. So it becomes little, the decision is not owned by them. So it's a concern for everybody, for the student, for the parents, for the colleges, because we want people who make choices in the college to actually be confident about what they're doing and to make the best use of the time in the college. Very, very critical. And many times it's also students are making decisions based on this limited awareness, which is 5 to 6 career options. And sometimes that is really, leading them to challenges more in terms of volume of jobs. And I would request all of you to do that research, because I don't want to ask which career you want to get in, but look at the careers that you want to get in and look at number of jobs that are being created in that sector every year, new jobs versus existing jobs. You will understand what is the potential in that sector, what is the demand for employment in that sector versus what is the opportunity. So that is very, very important. Today, almost 8 lakh people complete engineering every year. Then almost like 80 lakhs to 90 lakh students complete their UG degree in India every year. We are talking about, almost approximately 1 crore of people completing their UG degree in India, including engineering. So that's a kind of demand for the job sector that is in place today. But is it creating the necessary jobs, or are we really pursuing the right career opportunities or the right courses towards the right career opportunities is something that we need to do I would say status check, and that is something that I want to cover in this presentation. So how to choose, how to make right career decisions? I think this is something which is like obvious question, but I want to get into some specifics of how to choose a course. I think we definitely insist on following your personal interest, which is very, very important. How much are you passionate as an individual or as a student to pursue a course? That is very, very critical. And how good are you in that particular, I would say, domain? It can be medicine, it can be engineering, it can be law, it can be any other sector that you're interested in. But are you having relevant strengths, academic strengths, and skill set to pursue a course? Then did you talk to counselors, get more insights, especially not from a decision perspective, but did you get enough insights about that course to make a very clear decision to pursue? Then did you do any research on the curriculum? Is it something that you want to study? These are very, I would say, simple factors, but very, very important when it comes to decision making, because it will give you more insights to make a confident decision, so that you are, as a student, you are able to own up the decision. And many times it becomes easy if you take up that decision and if you actually do the research. And are you exploring different options? And did you come to this conclusion after exploring different options? That's very, very important. Then, did you attend any of the college fairs that are happening around, or are you trying to understand the job market in that segment, in that sector, or in that industry, where you're actually trying to understand is there a good potential for jobs? And last, are you talking to any alumni in that course who have pursued a course and who are doing well in that career? So, how to avoid some common mistakes? Because this is something that is commonly happening in the, I would say, student community, and many times parents are also going through the pressure. And if you see, most of the time, these mistakes are not committed, or I would say, these mistakes happen just out of ignorance, not because we want to do it willfully. Sometimes we are just following the crowd, and sometimes we are under peer pressure, and we are also under pressure to perform well, and in that process sometimes we make some of these errors. So I would say one of them is following the crowd, that everybody is joining engineering, I also should join engineering. Whether I am cut for engineering or medicine is something that we need to worry. And once you decide, okay, you're going to get into this particular domain, definitely it's definitely a good choice to pursue that particular course. Similarly, ignoring personal aptitude, which we meant personal academic strengths and interest and academic comfort zone for you. Some of you may be good in design, some of you may be good in numbers, some of you may be good in writing, reading. So how do you, make a decision based on your aptitude? That's very, very important. And I would suggest all of you to look at that option where you are making a decision based on your personal strength. That is, each student's personal strengths matter a lot while making a career decision. Very, very important. And neglecting, career outcomes. Sometimes, we don't understand the job prospects for that course. Sometimes we don't understand what is the industry relevance, and is it going to create some additional opportunities for me, especially that particular course. So that needs to be understood well, so that you know that you're interested in those career opportunities. Sometimes there may be career outcomes which you are not interested. So why do you want to look at that particular course? And many times there are last minute decisions, because you are into getting a UG degree admission and you want to get it, and sometimes in a hurry we kind of take a course, and sometimes we may want to live with it in the next 3 years or 4 years. And how do we choose a college? Here, I want to definitely, give you some advice, and then I definitely want to tell you one important thing. In India, students have, I would say, limited control to choose a college. Though ideally, it looks very good to look at on slide and on paper that I'm choosing a college. But many times in India, it's completely merit-based system where whether it is JEE, NEET, anything that we are pursuing today, that includes even a UG degree or a college, arts and science college, they look at some merit criteria, especially your marks or your score or a rank in a competitive exam to give you an admission. So that means it's college choosing you, not you choosing a college. So we have limited control, especially in choosing a college, but we can definitely make some choices in optimally choosing what is right for us, which I want to discuss today. One of them is college rankings. I'm going to discuss in a few minutes. But I also want to tell you that performance and competitive exams are critical, especially for counselors and teachers. I would urge you to talk to your children well in advance that they cannot choose a college. College will choose them based on their performance in academics and competitive exams. And this is something we cannot ignore because this is the life in India when it comes to admissions, because there are limited seats and good colleges. Obviously, there is a competition, and you have a ranking metrics to actually help you get an admission into a particular college. So you have to follow that. And internships and placement, campus infrastructure, and faculty are very important criteria for making a decision for a college. But these are definitely being covered in a NIRF ranking. I'm going to show you. And alumni success is also very important because alumni success definitely explains what a student's success is after particularly joining a college and completing a course from a college, and how are they doing well. So it's very important to understand the success of the alumni of a college to make a decision. So I think these are very simple things. I wouldn't say it's very tough, but I would request all of you to put that effort to talk to people, because I'm sure these are some things you already know. But when you make a college choice of a particular, region or a particular location, sometimes you may not be familiar with. You should do that research about talking to a few alumni. Though on paper somebody says on internet this is a good college, but talk to people, talk to your neighbors, friends who are already there. So you get a lot of insights from there. So do that research, complete that, data, I would say paperwork that you need to do, where you actually complete on paper that you have directly spoken to somebody who's studying in the college or who knows the college, than taking insights from secondary sources and online. And this is something that I want to show to you. In India, name any course or especially institutions categories. You can see overall universities, colleges, research institutions, engineering, management, pharmacy. Colleges include art and science in this category, medical, dental, law, architecture, agriculture and added field skills, and you have all categories including innovation for you to look at in terms of good colleges, and uh, especially understanding their, I would say, outcomes in terms of performance, in terms of other metrics, are being measured on this platform called NIRF, which is called National Institutional Ranking Framework. This is run by Government of India. That's why we want to show it to you so that you are able to clearly see what is the impact that it can create. But while I do that, I want to quickly go and show you NIRF website so that you see how typically a college can be ranked. Can you all see my screen? I'm assuming all of you are able to see my screen. Now, can I assume all of you are able to see my screen on NIRF ranking? Prashant, are you able to see my screen? Thank you. Thank you. I just want to quickly show you. These are top colleges, especially in the arts and science category. You can see starting from Hindu College, Miranda House to Ramakrishna Mission College in Kolkata. Then it goes to St. Xavier College, Kolkata. Then we have PSGR Krishnamal from Coimbatore. Then you have Loyola College from Chennai. We have good number of colleges in Tamil Nadu and Delhi and other locations as well. And we have colleges in Ernakulam, Thiruvananthapuram, Trichapalli. So these are links. I'm going to put it in the chat for you to refer. There's a huge set of information that is available. And I want you guys to look at this, portal, which is called NIRF ranking platform, which is called NIRF India. Let me put it in the chat. I have just put the link in the chat. I would request all of you to go to this ranking. This is the homepage. And why I am insisting on this ranking is this ranking gives you a very good comparison of colleges, especially many students come to me, which IIT is good, which IIT is good. I want to, showcase to you some of the colleges. Let me take you to engineering as one common example that people ask among IITs, they compare, but how do we compare with data? So I just want to compare with, let's say, uh, I want to take IIT Indore. I think there's a college, this IIT Indore. So you can see there is a data about previous years. So there, it's only started 1920. It even gives that data. So from then on, they have students and they have current intake of around 360 students. Then you have UG, what is the admission count? All that is mentioned. Then you have placement and higher education data of last year. I think nobody has completed yet. So that's why you don't have students completing. So then we can go back to, I want to go back to the another college I want to compare, let's say with IIT Delhi. So let me go to IIT Delhi. So here you can see there are like 2023, you can see the 1093 UG students, then dual degree 1654 PG students. Then you have number of male students 3400, PG 2750, total strength. And what is the placement data? What is the salary? You can see salary mentioned in the median salary of placed students. So much of detail is available for every college in the NIRF ranking, which if they are ranked in the top, 200, top 100, whatever ranking is given by them. So, and many times this data is very, very relevant for you to make a decision, very, very critical. And let us come to more data. Talks about PG, talks about PhD scholars in the program. Then it also talks about library equipment, engineering workshops, all the facilities that they have, and how much money is spent on salaries. What is the budget? That gives you a lot of insights, and what are the sponsored research, consulting projects. All the details are given. So this is a very good data for you to look at as a, I would say, teacher, as a student before you join a college, because that will give you a lot of insights about the college. And I'm quickly, I'm keen to go back to this slide on NIRF. And I want you to go back to this portal and look at it in detail to do your own research. Right now, I want to pause here on NIRF and go back to one or two questions that I've seen. One on JEE, I mentioned clearly that we are going to do a separate session. How to find alumni? Definitely LinkedIn is one good platform. But I also want to tell you that you just have to talk to the school. Sometimes they might be in your own daughter or son school, there might be some seniors who would have joined. And in your own apartment group, please post it if you're in any groups or with your friends, saying, do you have any students studying in your college, in this college or in this university? You will definitely find somebody. India is a very small group. You will have a lot of students all over the country, and it's not going to be tough. You should just talk to your working colleagues and friends, family, all the groups in your network. You will definitely find somebody. I think I have answered almost all of them. Let me go to the last one. I would request all of you to keep posting your questions so that I try to answer them as we go further in the presentation. Because I'm happy to see that you guys are all engaging and you are keen to understand what we are talking. So, does biotechnology have scope in future or not? And is it best to do BSc or BTech? Please reply. Oh, this is a very good question, Shesha. I'm getting it directly. I think you have also posted in the group. What is it that defines a good course? So I would always want to tell you, every sector has demand. You can see so many sectors are here within this slide that I'm talking. There are so many colleges offered in this categories, but if you ask me whether biotechnology is good or not, biotechnology is definitely a good field. But what you want to do in biotechnology is important. And second, how well you're going to perform in that particular domain is very critical. So if you ask me, computer science is a good field, but will everybody will get good salary in computer science? The answer is no, because you have to be the best in that field to get the best salary or best recognition in that field. So similarly in biotechnology, you have to do well. You have to get into good university or a college. And many times biotechnology is an evolving field. You see a lot of domains within biotechnology, starting from understanding the brain to understanding biomedical engineering today. So you have so many things which are, I would say, a lot research oriented and a lot, computationally oriented. So you have a huge application of computer science in biotechnology. So there's a huge opportunity. If you ask me whether there is opportunity, but the question is, are you geared up to that kind of preparation? If you're getting into biotechnology, are you ready to apply technology and understand medical and healthcare and biosciences in depth to put so much effort to do research in sometimes, and you may want to get into PhD because opportunities are plenty, but how depth you can go is very important. If you're just looking at an immediate job, maybe a simple computer science degree will get you that advantage, or even a BCom or a BSc can give you that advantage. So what is it that you want to study long term is very important, because that will give you a very good insights about how you can actually get into a particular degree or a particular course. So I would always tell you may choose any domain: engineering, medicine, law, commerce, or dental. It can be pharma. Are you the best in that domain? That's very, very critical, because how well you perform in that domain makes a huge difference, and many times that can give you a competitive edge. And today you can see, be it entertainment, be it social media, people make money, people settle in their career, not because they joined a good college, not because they are, they have done a very good course, just because they are doing well in that domain. So your skill and your performance in that particular domain matters a lot than the college and many other, you know, uh, I would say factors. So it's important how well you're going to do in that domain is very important factor, and that will really make a huge difference along with your course and college. So that decision is very critical from the student side, where students' preparation is critical to say, I am passionate about this course and I will definitely put my effort to become best in that domain. And naturally, you'll do well. And one question on ISRO. So I think one of the things I can immediately tell you is, so recruits through GATE. I think they recruit engineers for sure. After GATE, there's a entrance exam called GATE, and you can apply to ISRO. And there's, I think, junior scientists. So some initial, I would say, junior roles being given, and you can go through. After completing engineering, you may have to write GATE, and many of the public sector companies recruit through GATE, and you can definitely consider that as one of the options to get into ISRO. So, and one of the questions I want to understand is, Krupa is asking, food or microbiology. I would not say which is best, because both are good. It depends on what you want to pursue, and you can always study microbiology and come back to food. So I don't see a problem. It's just that how much depth you can get into. It's like, general physician versus a cardiologist. Both are important as doctors, and specialization is equally important. At the same time, understanding the whole healthcare and whole human body is very, very important. And that's where these fields, especially sciences and biosciences and healthcare, you need to get the depth in that domain, and you also need to enjoy that, so that you really enjoy learning. And definitely specialization is very easy today with so much of content on internet. You can specialize in food, you can understand, you can always do an extra diploma in food, you can do a master's in microbiology. So many combinations are there. So I wouldn't say one, and microbiology is also applied in food. We cannot say they are not applied in food, because that's a one of the applications for sure. The question is, how are you going to look at these courses, and how are you going to learn these courses is very critical. So, and these are very minor difference. I get these popular queries on which engineering is better. Is it engineering in mechanical, or engineering in civil, or engineering in computer science? And many times people think computer science engineering is very good sometimes, because it gives some immediate options. But if you look at long term, any engineering is good, because if you want to learn computer science, you can always do a course, or you can do some specializations in your college, some subjects. You will always learn about computers. But if you want, as a computer science student, go back and learn civil engineering or mechanical, it's very hard. So it's like each of them have their own set of benefits, but some of them want quick solutions to get a immediate job. So maybe computer science may be a short term option. And need about logistics and public health. This is a very broad subject. This is a domain on its own, but how you're going to pursue a course in logistics and course in public health, each of them are into different domains. Are you looking at management of logistics or management of public health? Maybe you want to get into management education. Or are you looking at, supply chain? Then you can get into supply chain courses. You can go into BBA and do a supply chain specialization as masters. And public health, again, are you looking at a policy side? Are you looking at, management side? Or because there's a hospital administration and all those courses are available from a management side. And maybe you want to be a healthcare doctor or a medical, doctor. That's something that you want to decide. And my 12th standard students come from rural background, Prashant, in Bihar, who want to get in admission in their own state. So I was looking for more career options within my state. Definitely, sir. You may want to, whatever I'm giving you is pan India. This holds good even in Bihar. You may have to look at, colleges within the state, and you will have everything publicly available. I'm just not listing here. There are portals like College, Dunya College, I would say the huge number of portals which provide this information, and Careers 360. So many information portals are there which you will get in public domain. You don't have to, do anything. Even ChatGPT will give you, colleges in Bihar. If I say arts and science, if I say engineering, it will give you instantly because it's all publicly available, sir. So don't worry. But I'm only giving you criteria for identifying and choosing colleges. That remains same whether it's Bihar or Tamil Nadu. And we have a course on any course on engineering is enough, or specific course. Again, I'm getting this query on which engineering specialization is good. All specializations have their own unique applications, and you have unique advantage of doing a particular specialization. But what is important is how well you're going to enjoy that specialization, and are you really interested in studying engineering? And are you really interested in doing the specialization? That will give you huge advantage, because if you like, let us say, mechanical engineering, personally, you enjoy learning mechanical engineering, then life becomes very simple. You will do well. And even if you want to switch into mechanical, applying, computer science, you can easily learn because you are enjoying mechanical, right? It becomes easy. But if you don't like computer science, but if you think computer science is good, you join. And if you're not able to code, you don't enjoy every day, that's definitely going to be a challenging direction. So you have to enjoy what you're joining. Second, you also have to learn and see why you're joining a particular course, so that your decision is going to be I would say supported by yourself all throughout the 4 years of engineering. It's not that I joined mechanical or civil or computer science today because it's good, but after completing 1 year I decided this is not what I want in life. So you need to maintain your decision. You need to keep up your decision, and you need to fulfill your own goals for yourself, and you need to enjoy the journey. That is very critical, because it's not about which course is good. It's all about how well you do that course, so that gives you a unique advantage in your career. Avionics is also a good field, definitely, but it depends on what you want to do within avionics is very critical. Chemical engineering in India, yes, there are a lot of colleges offering chemical engineering in India. But if you ask me whether it's worth or not, there's a lot of pharma companies, a lot of people applying chemical engineering, including petrochemical companies. So chemical engineering is definitely worth. But what is it that you want to do after pursuing chemical engineering? You want to get into any of these companies, or are you just fascinated to study chemical engineering? That clarity is critical, and it has its value. And you can again check colleges which are offering chemical engineering, but it's not a common course that is available in all colleges, including private colleges. Many of them may not have chemical engineering course. Then how to make a decision about an institute like Gati Shakti Vidyalaya? Not any batch passed out, but it's a government institution. Very good question, Akhil. So you're asking about how to make a decision about an institute which is not having a graduating batch. I would suggest, if you are local and you are close to that institute, please visit that institute. Please read up about the funding that they got from the government and how much is it complete, and current batch of students you can see. You can go and talk to the faculty. And especially if it is a government institute, I will always give a edge in India, because they will definitely give more resources and facilities for government institutions once the government commits. That's why we have limited number of institutions, but they do very well because the funds are given without any bias, and there is infrastructure, faculty, salaries are paid well. So obviously you can give some trust for government institution, but however, you should go and visit them and understand how they're actually running, talk to the current batch of students. And is it okay to do a mainstream course like BBA for the money instead of an art course? Is it okay to do something for money? So I think I would say you can pursue both. You can always pursue a BBA course along with an art diploma, or you can study a parallel course offline. Nobody's going to stop you. So there's no harm in doing both, and for passion and for career. So, and also I would say an art course is never wrong, and at some point it can become a mainstream career. So it's all about how you are going to take up the learning and how you are going to build your proficiency and build a career out of it. So many times we may study something, we become something else because of our talent and skill set. So it's important to continue that passion and fun of learning, and maybe you specialize in that, you do so well that you make a career out of it. Yeah. So I have a question on, can I take ECE course in any college? Is it enough? Then can I appear for GATE, and please say any specific course? So I think ECE is good, even computer science is good. You can take GATE exam through any of the branches. It's not going to be difficult for you. So any branch that you take, you can definitely write GATE exam. It shouldn't be tough. As people around me say, only AI data science have high scope in future. So it creates pressure to choose any other course. Oh, wow. Thank you, Shesha, for asking this question. So imagine AI is not a fundamental, domain where, like you can see, like agriculture or banking or finance or insurance, where it is a domain which cuts across the domains, where AI or IT is applied in different domains. So it has its unique advantage, but it doesn't say that only AI will be the future. So because AI is an application in different domains, AI cannot be on its own without applying in healthcare or law or medicine, or you can say tourism. It has to be applied. Even e-commerce, AI is applied as a field. And AI, if you see number of jobs in AI, maximum they talk is few millions. So it cannot be, that it can be at tens of millions. Beyond that, and we have in India itself, we have 140 crore people, and at least 2 crore people complete their class 12 every year. And we are talking about, millions of jobs, not even crores of jobs in AI. And how can it satisfy, crores of people who are completing every year their degree? So it's not going to be the only source of employment. Definitely, it is one of the technologies that is going to revolutionize the future. But you need not, or one need not worry about AI. And if you're not good at computer science or math, don't panic. You have enough fields, because whether we need AI or not, because without AI, we still survived so many years. But we need healthcare, we need nurses, we need paramedical staff, we need AC mechanics, we need all kinds of professions. We also need food, restaurants. So every domain is going to survive. Just that, AI may have some hype around it, and people may want to see that as a popular career. So definitely, I would definitely say that AI is a popular career, but is it the only career? No, there's so many careers, and they will still continue to be. And I would definitely put my bet on healthcare, and the future is going to be big in terms of health and wellness, because so many people are are going to get into the higher age group, and they're going to have health related issues. And India as a country is, in terms of food intakes, habits, healthcare, we are moving from an agrarian economy to services economy, where we spend most of our time with desktops. So our health is definitely disturbed. So how are we taking care of the healthcare? So the future is definitely going to be driven by AI, but there are so many fields that are going to create opportunities. Just look at the future employment opportunities. You will definitely feel happy about what I'm talking, and that includes law, dental, every domain that you can think of. There is opportunity. Don't worry. Is food science and food technology, is there any diploma course they will support to join better place? So there are BTech courses in food technology itself, and there are specialization courses in food technology. I'm sure you will find, depending on the location and depending on the college you want to search for, a lot of private universities offering food technology course and BTech course in food technology as well. Which college you prefer to study psychology? I would always say, if you're looking at psychology course, please look at colleges. This ranking framework, I think I have shared. So especially for colleges, please look at the colleges ranking. And you should definitely get into colleges which are good as per NIRF ranking. There are many good colleges to study psychology, and it depends on which state, Amy. That's what your name says, Amy. I don't know whether I got your name right, but I would request you to look at colleges in your state, and if you're looking at pan India scope of colleges that you want to consider, you have a huge set of colleges in India as per NIRF ranking, and many colleges are there which are good, where you may find admission easily, because psychology is still not a course which is hyped up where everybody wants to study psychology. And I would say great opportunity for psychology given our mental health challenges and kids going through different learning difficulties. So there's a huge opportunity for psychology. Which college to study? Labor law. So the whole, I would say, law is one big sector. You can see the top colleges. We have Nalsar University, International Law Schools, who are already there in the government space established by Government of India, which are centrally funded. The national law schools are doing a wonderful job. Nalsar University. Please look at law schools to study labor law, and there are a lot of private institutions as well. I would request you to look at Arsu ma'am, to look at the law category of NIRF rankings. You will see a good chunk of colleges in the law category, and at the same time, yeah, if you go outside of this NIRF, you can look at colleges which are offering law, which are in top 100 NIRF ranking. They will definitely be a good course to consider. Now, so this is an interesting question. Which open university should we enroll to pursue a passion degree? It depends on which degree that you want to get. Do you want to study, or you want to get a degree? So there are multiple open university options that you have. You have, IIT offering today online degrees. You have IIT Madras offering IITM BS degree in data science and applications. So that is a very useful course that you can consider if you want to get into data science. You can learn online completely. Similarly, you have Indira Gandhi Open University, NO, which is offering various courses. So I would, and there are a lot of state universities offering, courses in open university mode, and they call it open education. So you are distance mode. So you can definitely consider based on your domain of interest and the nearest university, because they will expect you to write exams in person. Some of these universities, please consider. So there's nothing like this is the best university I would recommend, because I would also request you to look at some of the rankings before you decide, and also what purpose you are learning. Are you learning to get a just get a degree on paper so that you actually show it to people and get a promotion, or are you interested to learn? Then that those parameters will help you define which university is ideally for you, so that you can look at the difficult one if you want to learn. If you want to get a degree, look at the easier one in terms of completion. Which course is better scope nowadays? Yeah, this is a good question. It depends on what you want to do as a student, and as a parent, what course is ideal for your child is very important, and what is the area of your child's interest, and how is your child performing academically in that particular domain. That matters a lot, because that will tell the students passion in that domain, that will tell the students ability to pursue the course without effort, without struggle. And all of us should remember, while choosing a course, our comfort zone is very important. As students, we should really enjoy that subject, and every day going to the college should be fun. Writing exams, writing assignments should be a very interesting challenge that all of us want to take. Now, I just want to quickly pause for a minute. Let me stop sharing. Just want to check, are we in the right direction? Hope uh, uh, you guys are all listening. Anybody here have any questions? I would request all of you to keep posting in the chat. And I'm really enjoying this chat that you are, putting up in the chat window, and I'm happily able to answer very quickly. I would request all of you to, post your questions in the chat. I'm happy to answer, and as of now, I'm really enjoying your questions. So, biotechnology requires knowledge of coding, not everything, but today any technology that you apply, it can be biotechnology, it can be design. There is this limited amount of coding. Sometimes it's required. Sometimes with the I would say generative AI today, you may not want to use coding at all, because these tools are available today. Even if you want to design today, you have tools like Midjourney, which will help you design a image, or design a uh, product. You come up with any designs, there are tools that help you to design it. So as a designer, as biotechnologists, you will have to use little bit of IT, you will have to use little bit of programming, but you want to use a tool to do it. Sometimes, getting hands-on is very useful, because especially if you're running simulations in biotechnology, especially if you're getting into some kind of, I know some of the advanced domains in biotechnology, because we work with some professors, computational neuroscience, for example. It studies about brain and how brain functions, and they do a lot of deep learning, so which involves heavy amount of coding. So it depends on which domain you are in, and definitely there is, little bit of coding for sure. But how much you want to take and which course you want to get into is very important. And good span courses offered by IITs and IIMs in computer science. Any art like English, yes, this is a good one. There's a course, I think, I don't know whether it's being continued or not, from IIT Madras. Let me try to share this. It's called MA Integrated course. It's called MA in IIT Madras. It's offered, and they offer in English as well. So I don't know whether it's still there, but I know it's a 5-year integrated program. Yeah, it's an English development studies and economics. I'm just giving the link for you. This is a course in English offered by IIT Madras, because I'm sure many of you will find this very useful. Tell about cryptography. Yes, it's a very, I would say, specific domain. I personally worked in internet security. So one of the applications in internet security is cryptography, but it's a very niche domain. One need to get into computer science, then or any other engineering. It can be electronics and communication. Then you get into, you know, internet security, and one of the applications in internet security is going to be cryptography. The way we code and encode some of the documents shared, and how do we, secure the documents, and how do you protect them using cryptography is very, very interesting, and it's a good domain. But again, it involves a huge or heavy amount of programming, because you're going to deal with a lot of algorithms for encoding or decoding, encrypting or decrypting. So it's very important to understand cryptography in depth, with a lot of knowledge in computer science as well as in communication. This is the application of cryptography. So, is one interesting question. I completed my diploma in electronics and communications. Possible to pursue chemical engineering? It all depends on the eligibility. I doubt whether there is eligibility to continue in chemical engineering. Please check the rules. Each state may have their own, specific rules, and maybe AICT would have given very simple guidelines on that. I don't have a immediate answer or ready answer that I know. I can tell you that if you completed diploma in electronics and communication, that you can join chemical engineering, because the domains are quite different. So I am assuming the eligibility will definitely require you to have some subjects that you study in chemical engineering if you want to pursue chemical engineering. So yeah, so this I like. Krupa Spandana, ma'am. Nowadays, BSc nursing courses in demand. Yes, thank you for asking me this. My own sister is in Canada. She's BSc nursing graduate in India. She worked 5 years in India. She went to Canada, and many times she tells me, she's now citizen there, and she's a registered nurse there, and she says I make more money than engineers, and we are in sought after kind of resources in Canada. We are in demand. So I totally agree. BSc nursing is in huge demand. But again, one should not think at BSc nursing as a course which is not as good as doctors, because each of them have their own respect. And some of us may not get into MBBS for various reasons, may not have got good score in NEET. But if you still want to pursue healthcare, BSc nursing is a very good domain to be in, and plenty of opportunities. And especially abroad, the salaries are as good as for engineers. So, and they pay as high as $40-50 per hour. So it's a very good career to consider. And even within India, nurses are in demand. Maybe they may not be getting very highly paid in the initial days, but as they progress in their career, definitely they're going to do well. So Akhil Prasad asking, if you take specialization engineering like mechanical and rail engineering, and is there a job scope in India? Mechanical engineering. So these are some very niche specializations. I would always, avoid these specializations like petrochemical or specific to do with rail engineering. These are like very, very specialized courses, unless it's sponsored by that particular institute or a government entity, or let us say that particular company is sponsoring that course where everybody is going to complete the course will get a job offer there. These niche courses sometimes it's better to avoid so that you can be more generic mechanical engineer. You will always have scope to move across different departments, different domains for you to pursue. So I request all of you to look at generic courses in the UG, then go to specialized courses in the masters. That becomes easy. And sometimes what is tempting is sometimes the admission becomes tempting. They say this course we have admission, other courses admissions are over. So please be a little cautious. You look at the prospects, and if the syllabus matches, let's say, though they may say mechanical and rail engineering, but if the syllabus matches like 80%, 90% is still mechanical engineering, and definitely that's something that you can consider. So look at the syllabus and curriculum before you decide. And please suggest about mechatronics, very good, subject, but at the same time, it all depends on what the student wants to do, especially if you want to get into IoT, if you are going to enjoy, programming with real-time devices around us, definitely mechatronics is good. But it's very important, to understand why you want to get into mechatronics. And today the whole, robotics is all about mechatronics. How, though the word robotics is completely integrated into AI, but the robo works on mechatronics principles. So it's very much needed. But if you ask me, what is it that student wants to study and do in that particular domain is very critical. And is it for research purpose or is it for getting a job? Sometimes in getting a job, you need to be clear, what kind of domain you want to be in. So it's definitely a good domain to be, but look at the jobs in that sector and look at the broader application of mechatronics to see, is it that something that I want to do? Is what I will ask the student, because student has to enjoy that particular subject. And many times after 1 year, 2 years, they'll compare with CS students and say, hey, I want to be in computer science. So that they should not think, and it has its own space, given the kind of opportunity that we have in autonomous vehicles, especially autonomous vehicles. Today, when I say autonomous vehicles, unmanned aircrafts or unmanned vehicles, where we don't have human intervention in those vehicles, it's completely driven by automated mechanisms. So, and they require very advanced applications both in mechatronics and computer science. In connection with MA Integrated Development Studies at IIT Madras, now they offer only PG. Yes, that's what I was thinking. I think they had earlier integrated program. I think they changed it to 2 years MA program after BA. Yes, thank you, Vani ma'am. Thank you for this observation. Yes, they made some change. I'm trying to recall what that was. So thank you. How useful is to study leather technology? Yes, very much. India exports a lot of leather, and Chennai has a CLRI, Central Research Leather Research Institute. So it's a huge space and so on. But it's again important to understand. Are you studying in the right institute, and are you clear to get into this domain? Because today, leather, India is one of the largest exporters of leather, and leather processing is a very big sector on its own. But you can get into leather using leather technology, or you can get into leather by studying chemical engineering also. But it all depends on what you want to do next. So if you have a clear plan, or if you have a leather business, or you want to get into leather industry by passion or interest, then definitely yes. But if you are having broader interest of engineering, maybe you can consider. But I have one tip to give you. So imagine you are getting into a very good campus and it has leather technology, but you want to get into an IIT or NIT, which has a course. Sometimes they may not be popular courses, but the campus is great. Definitely, in such cases, you can consider these degrees if you're not personally interested. But otherwise, if you think you're not interested in that domain, then don't get into the niche spaces. Otherwise, it has its space, and CLRI is a very popular institute in leather technology space. Then I have a question from Shesha on as parents care about child's future, they suggest joining courses which provide a lot of salary after their course is done. They are not ready to do such course. As I choose biotechnology, it takes years to complete PhD and more work. Initial salaries, yes, Shasha, Shesha, that's a very important observation, and that's where the career path is critical. You need to define what your career path is, and the short-term, long-term goals are very important. And it's important to define your goal in terms of why you want to do that particular course, and what's your long-term plan? Is it getting a job, going abroad, doing research, or getting into PhD? That's very, very critical. I totally agree with you. And this is something that parents should keep in mind while their children make a choice. And even as children, you all should know what is the career path. Let's say MBBS in India today may look very tough, but it will take at least 10 years from the time they join a typical MBBS program to settle themselves, because then they have to do PG, then they will, before that, they will do house surgeon, then they do PG, then they, but getting an admission into PG, sometimes they take 1 or 2 years, then build an experience, build a profile as a doctor. It's a long effort. So, and they become very special and very important doctors after 10 years of effort, but that's an investment of time. I totally agree, Shesha. But there's no shortcut to that success. And within biotechnology, if you're a doctorate and you have your own place in biotech space, if you're a doctorate, no doubt, and you cannot compare with a typical engineer who would have done some engineering and got a software job. So both of them have their own space and long-term stability and credibility. So and during the COVID days, I'm sure you would have seen what is the impact of pharma guys on this field. What is the impact of a typical you know uh, doctor that on the society. So we cannot measure definitely in financial terms the impact of a particular profession and domain. And very good question. Thank you for asking me that, Shesha. And we have a question from Vani. What is the scope for BTech in food technology? My own cousin has done BTech in food technology. She went abroad. She got a job also in the food technology space. So within India also, they've been getting, because food technology is growing today. Testing laboratories are growing. So there is opportunity. But I wouldn't say that it's a very big space like engineering and computer science or something like that. But it's a growing space, and if you want to get into agriculture, food and food processing, this is definitely a good area. Especially government jobs are there, like food safety officers. So it's a good domain to be in, but you should be interested, and you should like the subjects. And food testing is a very big space with today's demand. There are a lot of private labs that are coming up, so there is opportunity. But I wouldn't um, say it's like very big today in India. It's a growing space, but internationally, it's a very big space to be in food technology. Is there any basic degree about avionics? I don't have an immediate answer, ma'am. To give you a BSc degree in avionics, I may have to come back to you on this. Akhil Prasad, on the syllabus for mechanical engineering, mechanical rail specialization is same. Will job opportunities with general mechanical engineering consider them? So this is a very good question, Akhil. So one big difference I want to tell you is look at what the degree certificate says. If the degree certificate says mechanical engineering with minor, information on or on minor in rail specialist, something like that, you see what the degree certificate says. That's very important. While you get admission is very important, but what is the degree in the university certificate says? And also see and talk to the alumni to understand, because if it is from a good institute, let's say, I'll give you example of IIMs. I think recently IIMs are offering their master's degree, their MBA programs, but earlier they are not called MBAs, they're called PG programs, PG diplomas, PG programs, but they are very good and as good as or more than MBA programs in India, uh, because they are offered from IIM. So it depends on which institute that is offering this degree. If it is a very good reputed institute in the top in the country, so you will not have that worry. But at the same time, do talk to a few alumni to get that clarified, and that's the best way. And talk to a few faculty in that college to clarify that. That really, if it's a new government institute, I would definitely ask you to do a little more research on this, especially talking to the faculty and talking to the you know I would say some of the officials in that institute to understand why they have started. Are they going to give placements in railways? Because I'm sure that's the goal with which they have started. And with especially metro and all, I definitely see opportunity. But today it's very hard to define at that scale. Who's going to get job where? So it's important to do that specific research to keep our options open so that we don't get specialized and become a niche product. So, but to my knowledge, if the syllabus matches with the institute, it will definitely give you a lot of opportunities for masters. Let's say you're mechanical engineering with rail specialization, you can always apply into mechanical masters as well. So I think that's something that you may want to do on research. Yes. Thank you all. And we are already 7 o'clock, and I would definitely want you to uh, continue posting your queries. I'm happy to answer your queries, and any specific queries I want. I would say, Shikar, I have a request to you. Can you share the book on top 100 careers soft copy in this chat?
Yes, sir.
So that everybody can download that book. We have a book on top 100 careers because many parents and many children are concerned about their career, and many parents are concerned when they get into non-conventional careers, which are like uh, if it is a typical engineering medicine, they all know how it works. But if it's, let's say, food industry or agriculture, or for example, art and design or entertainment, they don't know what are the careers, how is the salary looking like. So you created a book, and I think Shikhar will share now. You can also download. It's a free book. Otherwise, it's a paid printed book. We sell, but we want to help more people learn about this so that this becomes an awareness to more parents, so that you share it in your networks and you get more insights about different careers. And what we want to tell through this book is every career is good if the student is performing best in that domain. So it's important to perform the best in that domain. Obviously, if you are a best chef, you will definitely make good money. So it's all about how well you perform in that career. And we want to say there are so many careers in demand, but what is important is how well you are able to perform in that career is very, very critical. So we want to propagate that information to parents, and that's the reason we have created this book. I request you to look at the book, circulate, and Shrikar, I request you to share your phone number as well in the chat, and any personal queries, we're happy to help you with going forward, and support you with information or any other insights that you need. And any other questions, I would request all the teachers, students to post in the chat. And since it's a weekend, I don't want to make it too long for all of you. I would want to make my session as crisp and simple for all of you. Any questions for me? And or any other points that you want to add? Happy to get your questions, and I'm happy to share my responses. Last one, ma'am, go ahead. Fishing technology. Honestly, ma'am, I don't have insights into this. I know fisheries is a big space in India, but I don't know in terms of careers how big it is, and how is the domain performing in terms of number of jobs. But fisheries is a very big sector in India. That much I can say. But how is it as a career, and fishing as a business? Fishery as a business is very good. I myself have seen the opportunity, and I'm from a place where I'm from Godavari River bank, so I know the kind of opportunity that is there in the fishery space, being whether it is prawns or fish cultivations. It's a very big space. But technology-wise, I don't have an immediate answer, ma'am. Thank you for posting, and I will do some research on this. Which field in biotechnology offers high salary? Honestly, ma'am, this is a very non-trivial question for me, because it depends on how well. So one area I would definitely say is computational neuroscience is one area I can immediately answer, because I know that domain very well. But again, it depends on what is it that you are pursuing, and what is it that you are specialized in, and how well you are specialized in that domain matters a lot. And it's a very I would say tough question to answer. Which engineer gets high salary? Any engineer gets good salary, but it depends on which domain they work. You can see the whole public sector companies, be it mechanical or electrical engineering, they give very high salaries when compared to a typical private sector job in computer science. So it all depends on which company you're trying for and what domain you are in, how well you are performing in that domain. So some are very tough to answer, ma'am, because we can never say one technology gives very high salary, because it depends on which company you are applying and how well you are performing. Yeah. Any other questions to me? I'm happy to take your questions and answer. Otherwise, we can all be in touch. And thank you for joining this session, all of you, on this Friday evening. Have a wonderful evening today. And I'm assuming, Shrikar, did you share your contact number? Shrikar, are you there? Let me share Shrikar's number for all of you. Doing BSc Science, definitely it gives you broader opportunities in terms of next steps, ma'am. So no harm in doing BSc Science if you want to have a simple and good UG degree. So I'm just posting Shrikar's number here for all of you. And in a minute, we will all. Yeah, I'm just posting. After this, we can all exit the group, exit the meeting. 824891617. 824891617. Yeah, this is Srikar's number. Yeah, Srikar also posted. Thank you, Srikar. Thank you all for joining this session. Please reach out to Srikar if you have any queries. We'll be happy to talk to you at a convenient time and understand your specific queries. But otherwise, all the best to all of you, both the teachers, counselors, and students, for this year's career decision making. And thank you all for joining this session on this Friday. Wish you all the best. Let's stay connected. Thank you all. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.